Hey everyone, I already posted a review of the Fortnite Super Flare. I really liked it. I thought it was a cool blaster. I did that review and then kind of immediately went in to start tinkering around. So this video, it's a bit of a mod guide, but keep in mind when I was doing it, I was kind of exploring and figuring things out. I make references at the start that I obviously didn't even know where I was going with it as I went through the mod. So I've trimmed it down as much as I can, but it's a little bit meandering, but it does cover upgrading the spring. What I found worked best for the spring with how that plunger head was to actually wind on a spring. So hard to put a really powerful one in there. I ended up doing some spring doubling. I used a stock spring that I had left over from an old Retaliator. I also cover converting it over to fire Mega XL. Full lengths didn't let me still use that break action, so I did chop down one into a half dart. I did a short on that. Some of you might have seen it. Basically, I'm using some Nerf barreling from an old Retaliator barrel and use that as a dart post because it's the perfect diameter for the inside of this. And then after all that was done, I painted this thing. So you might have seen the video on that. I did one here as well. I made it zombie strike themed because I just thought with this grip, it just fits so well. We have that Mega XL half dart. I actually coated this with a bunch of layers of fabric paint so it would glow in the dark. I'm going to put in some clips from a short I did of that. I want to talk about the Fortnite Flare. Oh, good, the power's back on. I'll also put some photos of the painting. I didn't go through the whole painting start to finish because I'm just not good enough at that to show anyone anything. I actually need to do a little bit more sanding down here and then reapply some paint and put something on to protect it. I am getting some kind of scuffing where this break action opens and it's a little bit harder to flick it closed than I would like. So that's something to work on, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It is my first paint job. A couple little things I will say about it. I used a black Sharpie to go over the raised lettering on the Nerf and Super Flare because I wanted them to be black like the Zombie Strike stuff. The Zombie Strike logo is actually 3D printed and glued on. I didn't do the best job with that, but live and learn. But overall, I really like it. Here's that Nerf barreling tube. So performance-wise, I'm getting 50 with a Mega XL half dart, and I'm getting 40 with a full-length XL. But you have to remember, this post now is only a small fraction of the dart. So I actually think still getting 40 is actually not bad. I can still fire a full length. There's only kind of half a post in there, and I have to put it in through the front. But it does fire it. It works better with the half dart, though. I mean, this was more a cosmetic fun mod. I hope you do find the guide handy. Skip around. I'm going to put in lots of chapter markers. I think you would find the spring upgrade pretty handy and what was done there, especially if you have some old blasters laying around. You don't need to buy a new spring. Maybe steal something and put it on. I would love to see what kind of performance you get with the spring upgrade I did for this, firing stock Mega. I was getting 70 FPS from Mega before doing the upgrade, and it's a lot snappier now. I think you'd get pretty good performance doing that spring upgrade. And I mean, the Mega XL upgrade, I would say, don't do that unless you're just doing it for fun. It's not the easiest thing to mod to do that. I do have some projects I would like to do in future for this. I would like to set this up so I have this coming out with a gasket and I can drop shells in this part so that I can have different ammo be fired out of here. I'm going to play around with that, maybe test out my CAD skills. We'll see. That's kind of the dream. I think that would be kind of cool for this blaster. I hope you enjoy the guide. I hope you find it handy. Always trying to get better at doing those guides for people. If you have any questions, as always, please let me know and we'll see what we do next. I certainly wouldn't call this a guide by any means. I was going to open this up and just fiddle around with it. And I thought, you know what? I'll record it for those who might be interested in a peek inside. I do have a bit of a dream of trying to mod this to accept other ammo. I think it's a really cool looking shell, but we will see. I was advised that this is basically a big shock by Papa Snurf on Instagram. I will link to him. I hadn't really looked into it at all, and I mentioned I might try to mod it. I know he just got one as well. I think he's planning on painting it and doing some cool Star Wars theming to that, which I also really enjoy. This must, yeah, I thought so. I was gonna say this must just kind of like pop out of there, so that's kind of cool. For people who don't like this thing, it's pretty easy to remove. You don't even have to take anything apart. I would rather this didn't all spring apart so I could get a good peek. Oh, sugar, yeah. There we go. All right. And then this, I assume, I can kind of wiggle off here. There we go. It's kind of sits in under this. I probably could have taken this out first, but I figured I could probably wiggle this free. My plan with this is solvent welded together, I assume. Well, I mean, it must be. My plan is to, I might try to split it open and break that solvent weld maybe, just so I can do some cleaner dremeling if I open up this. All right, I'm gonna take, now that I have this apart, I think I'm gonna take a photo just so I have a good clear image of these internals. So one thing I would love to do is I would love to try to get this to fire Mega XL. It already fires Mega. And I was thinking of using some leftover Nerf barrel tube that fits very well in there. I kind of thought the first thing that I might do as a test, I actually wish now I'd done this before I took the blaster together, just to see what I actually get out of this doing this. And you know what? I'm going to take a minute and do that. Because I don't really, I've never done anything to a Big Shock. I don't know what the options are out there for upgrading it. I'm not really a do my research first kind of person. I'll just kind of, I don't know. We'll look things up as we go. I'm sure there are options. I don't even really care. I don't know. I don't even really care a whole lot how it performs. I would just be heavily amused if I could get this to do it. And then if I can get it to do it, and then if I could get it to actually work okay, then I would actually love to maybe do something 3D printed that could replace this part here. And I mean, this part I think is just going to be a big Dremel job. Oh, of course it didn't move. The air restrictor is still in there. Silly me. For those who don't know, I am very, very new. It's lots and lots of learning. So of course that's not going to do anything because that air restrictor is closed. There's still a post in there. The air restrictor's in there. So doing this, the air restrictor is blocking all of that air. So it's not doing anything. So let's open this back up. We're going to have to go a little bit deeper to do our proof of concept. All right. I am going to take out some things. The trigger, this is kind of cool. The trigger just like slides in there because it has a pretty good trigger feel considering how that's been done. This little release here, that's very cool, pretty elegant. This part looks kind of similar to our knockout friend. Just always like to take things apart and know where they are. All right. So, part of what I was thinking I could do, maybe, and looking at this, I really think I could. I was thinking of dremeling here enough to make a bit of space and then seeing if I could epoxy this on here. So that goes in here. I would definitely like to leave something to get this epoxy this barrel onto. There we go. What a clean job. So now we want to get this guy, this air restrictor out of there. I'm going to use a different bit for that. All right, tube away. It's weird for me to do this to something that's brand new. It's not the wisest thing, but I don't know. I had a dream. For those wondering what I'm doing and you can't see, I'm just trying to get this ring, this air restrictor is behind. There's like a white ring. I'm just trying to cut it out enough to pull it out. And there we have it. That was kind of a pain. Let's see if we can do some cleaning up. I need to Dremel this out a little bit so I can get my tubing in here. I'm going to chop the end off this. I'm going to trim this down a little bit so that I can fit a Mega XL dart onto there. Now, I would love to get this inserted down in there a bit more. Here. Here. I mean, into there would be good. I could even go into there. And this, I want to butt up against this. Trying to go nice and slow here because we cannot put it back once we take it off. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. All right, this is very fun. Okay. So we would want that to be, that's fully on the dart. I want that to be probably about there. What's going to be kind of a bummer is to have to epoxy this in white. I might see if I can, I didn't really leave enough. I might see if I can just like tape this enough for like a really even pour performance test. I doubt I'm getting the best seal there. I mean, it came off. We might just kind of trust that this will work out. If we have to later, we will upgrade a spring. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish all of this tonight because I'm going to have to do some epoxying. I feel like I took too much off now. I'm gonna get my trusty JB Weld duct tape mat. My goodness, the innovation. All right, I will say, I don't know if I really needed to keep, I don't know if I needed to keep this bottom part. In fact, I guess it kind of does function as like a little bit of a guide. Let's just see. I don't want to cut anything that I might regret cutting. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really do any harm to have that there, I don't think. So that's fine. We'll leave that there. I might round it off a little bit. So I would like that to go in probably about that far, I think is what I'd worked out. I've used this a couple times. Hopefully it's still okay. I think that would work. Obviously not going to set anything down on it, but I just want to kind of line things up. I think that's okay. All right, cool. Definitely want to make sure it's straight. Seems pretty straight. This is the kind of thing where I kind of wish I had like a vise or something. I'm gonna tape it to the side of my desk. It's a very, very professional operation. Is we need to make a Mega XL dart fit in here. So in the back, I'm gonna Dremel out this part. It's a shame they hadn't just left this more open. I wonder if I'm gonna have clearance problems. I don't know. I'm looking at this too. I think it might be clips. I think that it's clips. I'm going to Dremel this out. Okay, well, we are clearing lots out. I was hoping, oh, and I think I can. I think I can probably manage to like pry that out of there somehow, because it would just look so much cleaner if I could get that out. There we go. Oh. Somewhat cleaner. I guess there was a ridge in around behind it. Oops. I'll see if I can clean that up now. Oop. We'll do that better after. We almost have enough room. I think we can probably sand that down. I might paint the inside of this maybe black. That would probably make it look maybe a little cleaner. Next, I have to get out, there is this piece in the middle. Otherwise, it's actually going to fit fine. I might try to get some of these ridges in here sanded down, which might be a little bit of a pain, but we'll see. Definitely would have been easier if I could have got this apart. Not that I tried very hard, as I didn't. No. A cloth or something would have been better to wipe up my excess epoxy than duct tape. Yeah, definitely don't want to put any pressure on that yet, but maybe I'll do a little fit. I think it's going to be pretty good. I feel like I'm going to wish that this tube was a tiny bit longer, but I didn't really... yeah, I mean, that's getting pretty set on there now. I think we'll just kind of go with this how it is. All right. We're gonna, because I don't want to epoxy this in, we're gonna leave this for maybe a couple hours and then see if we can finish it up. I've waited not quite long enough, but I'm gonna do a bit of a test fitting in here. I think I might, I want to see if this fits too. About there. This is a weird, bit of a weird thing to go together. That's a bit too, it's a bit too big. That's what I was wondering. I have a couple choices here. I really want to keep the brake action of this, though. I really do. That's going to be very difficult to do, though. Yeah, in order to do this, I might have to cut down and make a Mega XL half dart, which isn't the same, is it? Yeah, because I could just front load it in here, but I really want the brake action part. I mean, I could have measured some things probably. Yeah, that's so long. I don't even know if I can get. Just trying to. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could do it that we just load this in the front. That might be the first thing we try. We are going to need to take more plastic out of there to get that dart. There is a kind of like a little hump in there, so I need to get rid of that for clearance for the XL dart. We'll put this together and just see if it fires a dart out the front as it is. And then, well, we'll think about what we want to do. If we want to make a Mega half dart, I am tempted because, I mean, I'm just doing this for fun. It's not really to be a super practical thing. So it doesn't really bother me to do it, something like that. to do this, totally legit, you would need to make the barrel longer. I don't know. You'd have a lot you'd need to do. Let's see how phase 1 works. What the heck? This goes together very elegantly. I do like that. Oh, that's it. An epoxy blob. You know what? Before we even get into frigging around with the front part of it, let's see if this will even fire a Mega XL at all. I mean, it definitely will work stuffing a dart in through the front. I really want to keep that brake action. So I'm very tempted to just cut the barrel down and make it a half thing. Well, you know what? It works. It needs more power. It did work though. Technically. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually kind of happy with that without having touched the spring. I think I will try to put a new spring in. Fit of these is inconsistent. Just thinking. What could we do? I think I'll be getting myself another flare just to have one stock. I'd love to come up with some ingenious solution to have a Mega Dart be full sized. I mean, all I can really think of at this point is to like cut this and put some sort of like hinge on it, but that's gonna look messy. I mean, there's no way you're not gonna be able to tell what was up there. I mean, the other thing would be to just like chop that out, but you need something for this to hook onto. I don't want to lose all that stuff, so I don't know. I think I'm going to see if I can pop into here and maybe see if we can get more spring power in here. Oh, I love that I could get to that with clips. Oh. Well, that was pretty dirty. Whoop. Oh, I was gonna say I love that I could get to that, but it's going to be very hard to do much with, isn't it? There's room. It's just getting something on there is gonna be a problem without like breaking this, which I don't want to do. Why do they do this? I feel like I had this kind of weenier spring. I wonder if I could like feed this on here. Don't suppose there's any way I could. No, I think that would be, once that's in, I don't know that I see that going anywhere. A problem. I was so excited about how easily that unclipped. I guess I'm gonna see if I can twist on more of a spring. I mean, I wish I could get this on. I don't know. I don't know. Don't really want to ruin a perfectly good spring either. I don't know. Maybe I'll try this one first. This one will be. This is a stock Retaliator spring. from the drawer of springs. Gonna see if I can maybe bend this back a little bit now that there we go, now that I have it in. I know nesting springs is not always the best, but I mean, I don't want to have to like try to crack this plunger head off and all of that. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of a boost. Just a bit. I actually think that that'll work. I did make a dusty mess in there when I was dremeling. This is fun. This is not something I've really done a whole lot of yet, as far as just like really kind of getting in and seeing what we can do, and it's really kind of fun. Let's see if we got a bit of a boost. I didn't chrono. I'll chrono after this. I probably should have chrono before to see what that spring did, but I mean, before it was just kind of like flooping out. It was definitely not doing anything super impressive. Like, it was coming off the tube, which, you know, victory won, but it wasn't doing anything worth chronoing, in my opinion. I just want one with a good fit for my test iron. Oh, yes. Yes. That worked really, really well. All right. Exciting. I'm going to get the barrel on this. You want to put this hammer up here so it'll actually pull. If you put it down here, it's not going to do anything. I'm going to Dremel a little bit just to give myself a little bit more breathing room. That just might give us a little bit more room. All right, we have a flare that does fire Mega XL. You know what? This fires now just as well as my Meeker converted to fire Mega XL. I just got 46 on my chrono. I just kind of decided that it was not going to do it for me. to have this, that I couldn't use the brake action. So here we go. First thing we should do, maybe, is make a mega half dart. Mega half dart, 60 millimeter length. Okay. I landed on, well, it's a bit uneven. I landed on 60 millimeters because of some work that I've seen on Reddit by NSR Cup. I don't know. I'll link to it. He's doing a bunch of stuff with like air-powered firing Mega XL. And I feel like that person seems smart enough that I will just go with their length. Okay, so that is actually going to be kind of cool. I need a marker. Let's go. We're going to want the length of this tube to be here. I'd certainly rather go a little too long if I had to do one or the other. Really measuring all the way around would be the right way to do it. I definitely lack some patience, which will keep me from ever being an elite nerfer. Let's see if that would fit in there. Oh. I'm dumb. That needs a lot of clearance in order to do that. I really should have left it how it was. Oh no. Well, we're in it now. So close. Went a little too thin. Guess we'll be painting this one after all, maybe. I feel like this might actually fit. We were pretty close before. I mean that's gonna, I'm gonna sand that more. That's gonna scuff. I mean, I damaged that dart from before. That's all right. We got a test dart in here. That's, I don't know, that's probably almost as good as it's gonna get. I think it's gonna be as good as it's gonna get for right now. I'm gonna close this up and maybe get a picture. And I think this might end up being a painting project because it's such a weird little blaster now. This is kind of cool. I have more work to do for sure, but I'm gonna put a couple screws in this for now.